evening. So everybody give it up for Keith.
All right. Distinguished guests, advisory council members, patrons of tech diplomacy, I just have one question for you. Is this the greatest institution or what? I love that part. I love that part. And, we've launched a simple, profound belief that technology must advance freedom. So tonight, as we recognize the exemplary individuals who fought techno-economic warcraft with the shield of democratic principles. So to begin with, though, I want to surprise someone. And I think the best way to do it, of course, is with a poem. Now, don't worry, I didn't write this poem. Although I write poems of my 95-year-old mom. She loves it. ChatGPT is really helpful. Somebody more important wrote this poem, and it's a group of employees of this honoree. The title might give it away for some of you who have an extremely high IQ. So let me give it a little try here, okay? Guide us, O Guida. O Guida, our guider, our leader, our guide. To you and our mission we trust and abide. No distance too daunting, no task gone denied. O Guida, our guider, our leader, our guide. We'll work for global freedom or perfect every slide. O Guida, our guider, our leader, our guide. I'm glad I haven't been drinking. All we ask is that you ask, for your Krach team shall provide. O Guida, our guider, our leader, our guide. The world is much safer with your watchful eye. Both autocrats and Oxford commas can't seem to run or hide. This is really good. O Guida, our guider, our leaders, our guide. From keynotes to cartwheels. By the way, I told you she's a great gymnast. You ace every exercise. O Guida, our guider, our leader, our guide, with the guide interns by your side, will surely close the techno divide. O Guida, our guider, our leader, our guide, how small a change it seems to be, the state where you reside, when here we call upon a world to stand with us alive. I like them. By the way, who says I can't give a Tech Freedom Award to the CEO? Let's give a hand to Michelle. I mean, I always tell everybody on a scale from 1 to 10, as far as CEOs go, Michelle's about a 12. And I've seen some good ones, and I just can't thank you enough. Now, unfortunately, Michelle, we don't have one of those fancy, beautiful award glass things, because you were responsible for getting them, and this was classified information to surprise you. So you're going to have to order yourself one. Don't forget to put your name on it. All right. Now, I actually want to honor myself. I really do. Now, don't worry, Duncan. I'm not going to give myself a Tech Freedom Award. That'd be pretty much self-dealing. But since it was Halloween last week, I'm going to give myself a Halloween award. And this is due to my young 12-year-old philosopher, philanthropist son's Halloween. He had to write a Halloween essay assignment. And he got a perfect score on it, little guy. So I'm just going to read it to you, okay? Are you ready? It's pretty simple. The best part of Halloween is giving out the candy. I love giving out the candy because you can see the smiles on little kids' faces. Also, you can see your friends trick-or-treating at your house. Even though I go trick-or-treating, all the candy I give to my parents, so they will have more candy to give out. Also, my dad has 10 to 20 little bottles of alcohol to give to the parents, so they get something also. Giving out candy makes me happy because I see smiles on people's faces, which brings a smile to mine. I think that deserves an award. Anyway, he also, a couple of weeks ago, I shared this with our guys at our offsite. A couple of weeks ago, they opened his time capsule from like 3 years ago. They do it at school. It's about 5 lines he wrote, and the last line was, "I'm banned from China because of my dad." But anyway, I thought that was pretty good. Anyway, I won't get any more of that. I can't help but think this sentiment is not far from what we're doing here. We're all about giving and giving support, giving a platform for freedom, and tonight, a bit of recognition. About those little bottles of alcohol, let's just say that's a way of ensuring 100% participation at Capital Campaign. Now, let's get on with some serious business. And I really want to acknowledge 3 individuals who've really made a difference, in addition to Michelle. Our first honoree tonight is someone who can't be with us, but whose spirit of resilience and strength is felt globally, and that's President Tsai of Taiwan. Yeah, she's a hero. When I had a chance to go over there 3 years ago as the highest ranking State Department official in 41 years, greeted with those fighters and bombers, that was really a stark contrast to the freedom-loving people of Taiwan. Taiwan is not just a friend, but they're a linchpin of democracy, and they're a role model for freedom, not just in the region, but from around the world. Free and prosperous Taiwan, that shatters General Secretary Xi's myth that the Chinese culture cannot thrive in a democracy, but it does. And it was my honor to return last August to Taiwan and present the Tech Freedom Award to President Tsai in person. And as I said then, and this is what when I was handing the award to her, we salute you, we admire you on behalf of the Krach Institute and the free people around the world. We proudly bestow upon you the Tech Freedom Award. May our partnership continue and flourish and inspire the world. Now tonight, we've got Deputy Chief of Mission Johnson here. We're honored that you're here and you acknowledge our salute to President Tsai. And thank you for everything you do. Thank you. Thank you very much. Our second honoree is Dr. Alex Karp of Palantir Technologies. He's the CEO whose commitment to protecting freedom through technology is in line with the trust doctrine. He recently wrote, if you're profit maximizing in your country and that country is protecting you, you have a duty to protect the country. And it was interesting because this would have been in January 2020. I hosted about 30 CEOs in my home in San Francisco while I was under Secretary of State. And you'd recognize every single name. And it was all about getting their input on some of the things we were doing with global economic security strategy. We had them go around the room, just like we did the other night with the Carney folks and a bunch of CEOs. We had them tell their China horror stories. And, at the end of the night, I said, out in Silicon Valley, we say corporate responsibility is social responsibility, but it's also national security too, because authoritarian regimes represent a real and urgent threat to our freedom, to our democracy, and they also represent a real and urgent threat. I told these guys to your business because they don't want to just compete; they want to put you out of business, and that's one of the reasons, for example, why we're issuing that board advisory in terms of the China risk mitigation thing. So anyway, I'll get back on track here. So Alex's dedication to asking the tough ethical questions and insistence on supporting national security are really plot points on a graph of a true leader. If Dr. Karp is anything, he's a man who believes in the duty to protect freedom, whether it's through providing AI that secures nations or by supporting allies in their time of need. And Alex is an embodiment of the belief that technology must advance freedom, and for that we honor him. He's not here tonight, but we're going to roll the video. I think he filmed a video for us. Can we hit that?
Thank you for honoring me with this award. I want to thank the Krach Institute and Keith and Michelle especially. I feel very, very honored. In today's world, there are very, very few people who show courage, and giving awards to people like me and to Palantir by logical extension for doing what in my view is the obvious. What is the obvious? Supporting Ukraine in its pursuit of territorial sovereignty, helping Israel both in public and in private, standing up against people who pretend to not understand the difference between terrorism and battles, speaking publicly and clearly about the need to use technology, the world's best technology, in the service of the West and democracies, fighting to make sure our institutions are equipped with the best of the best in every area, but especially in technology, which is our superiority vis-a-vis our adversaries. So I want to thank you for giving me this award. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot that you're standing up and sticking up for the values of the West, which on occasion have to be fought for with force, and particularly with technology.
All right. So even though Alex isn't here with us tonight, let's raise our glasses. And yes, the little ones count too, in honor of a man who personifies our mission and whose actions speak volumes, even if it was on mute. Here's the axe. Here. All right, for our final one, brace now, is going to be a curveball. Roger Robinson, the ninja of techno-financial policy. Now, yes, he deserves that. So Roger recently testified in Congress saying, I appreciate the opportunity to describe what is arguably the largest strategic financial scandal in modern history. It consists of multi-trillion-dollar underwriting by our democracy of an authoritarian regime. Were you meaning China, Roger? I don't know. Bent on undermining our values and our way of life, aided by some fiduciary malfeasance, Wall Street firms, and certain conflicted U.S. government regulators at top levels. Roger, did you take a stand on it today? Anyway, so Roger's the human equivalent of an economic Swiss Army knife, with a career that zigzags through national security and global finance. Like James Bond car chase, I think. He's the man who looks at economic policy and sees an action-packed, thrilling adventure. And he's also the guy who called my State Department's transcript from my last press conference poetry when he read it. Because it went something like this. To the public and private equity compliance officers and risk managers to understand and disclose to their constituents the material risk associated with investments identified in the executive order. Ample warning has been given CEOs and their boards, and now they have a legal and fiduciary responsibility to be full compliance, take decisive action to minimize any negative effect from their clients' holdings due to the imminent divestment of CCMs. Those are Chinese military companies. Best practices in material risk mitigation, disclosure, and transparency are essential to proper corporate governance. Now, I'm glad I really haven't been drinking on that one. I mean, Roger, you love that. I think your head exploded. So Roger, he also was a senior director, and he's got so many stories at the National Security Council under President Reagan. You were 36 years old, weren't you? Something like that? 32. Well, you look like you're 33 and a half, I can tell you that. And he was concocting economic strategies to tackle the Soviet Union, and really a major force in bringing down that Soviet empire. Roger, your testimony before Congress was more blockbuster than C-SPAN's entire year of programming. Now, understand, Brian Lamb is a Purdue grad. Liberal arts is named after him. So I mean it in all disrespect to my fellow alum. So I could think of no better tech diplomat than my dear friend, Roger Robinson. And this was during the Christmas break of 2020. I remember being back home in San Francisco. We were working all week that week, emailing back and forth. And it was all about putting capital market sanctions on these Chinese companies that were enabling the genocide in Xinjiang. And Roger said to me, he goes, Krach, man, you're just staying with it. Someday we're gonna have an award ceremony for you in New York, and it's gonna be a steak dinner. And I said, no, Roger, this is my job. I'm doing the steak dinner and the awards for you. So it is my honor, in recognition of your dedication in advancing and securing our national and global economic security strategy and freedom for all people through your work on capital markets that fund totalitarian tech. We salute you, we love you, and we honor you with Tech Freedom Award. Come on up, Roger, say a few words.
Wow. This is a shocker. From the Crocker. That shows I haven't been drinking too much, I think. Anyway, this is a high honor. Keith beat me to it. As you could tell, I already had the idea of a life dream of honoring him. And he found the first occasion and beat me to it, so thank you for this. And it is, as you know, a high privilege to be part of this undertaking, which I think is historic. And you've heard me in the course of the day praise to the sky, both the Institute and the Global Technology Security Commission, of which I'm privileged to be a part. So I'll just say, because the evening needs to move on, but I'm just so proud of Keith for having the vision to understand a central reality. That yes, technology must advance the cause of freedom. But where I come from, and this goes down to the strategy for the economic and financial takedown of the Soviet Union. And we have a far more complex foe today. And that's recognized. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, it's about the money. We have the money. As I said, 66% of the world's investable capital. Capital markets equivalent to the rest of the world's combined, roughly speaking, the world's reserve currency. This is our domain, the global financial domain. They do not have a convertible currency. They are absolutely reliant on the hundreds of billions that we unwittingly and wittingly move to them annually, without which, in my opinion, it's adios muchacho to the Chinese Communist Party. I'm not interested in complicating their lives or dealing them some major setbacks. I'm interested in the utter defeat of this scourge on humanity, and for freedom to triumph every bit as much as it did under the Gipper, who I was likewise privileged to serve when he took down the evil empire called the Soviet Union. We can do it again. We will do it again, because at the end of the day, it's our money. We have a right, we have an obligation and a duty to ensure that it's not going to underwrite our demise, that it's not going to put in peril everything we hold dear. And the Krach Institute and the commission that has spawned from it are going to be principal vehicles in this great quest. So thank you all so much for this honor.
Yeah, Roger is, he's one of a kind. You know, I want to say something, and I say it over and over again, and I think I can never say it too much. And that's this. We talk about China a lot. And by the way, this is nothing against the 1.2 billion Chinese people who are not part of the elite Chinese Communist Party. You know, as I mentioned in my remarks today, I love the people of China. I love the culture, the history, certainly the food. And that's really important to keep that in mind. You know, whenever we would talk about it, government, we would always use the word Chinese Communist Party. So it's really important, especially in this day and age. And we mean that with any of these countries. The Iranian people are great people, some of the smartest people in the world. It's the governments. Obviously, same with Putin. By the way, you know, my 12-year-old son, when he was 9, I would come home from the State Department, and he would always ask me, he goes, well, did you kill Putin yet? Now, that wasn't a good thing for him to say. And now he's going, don't you wish you listened to me? But he's just young. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna wrap it up right now. So, you know, let's raise our glasses one more time to Michelle, to Roger, to Alex, to President Tsai, for protecting freedom. And, you know, let's roll up our sleeves, open up our hearts and our wallets. And anyway, make sure that we're all in this together. And God bless America. God bless the free world. Thank you very much. Thanks for everything you guys do. We love you. Take care. Have a great night.